This is my Belgian Mauser Model 1889/36. It's a shortened long rifle, intended to bring the older, small ring, single-stack magazine 89 Mausers up to the standard of the new Model 1935, which had a large ring action and a flush magazine. This example in particular has seen some hard use, as shown by the numerous stock repairs, but for me it's been a good shooter. There's just one issue. It's not complete. There's two things missing, both here on the front end. First off, there's no cleaning rod. It should be protruding from this hole in the front band, and the head of it retained under the front sight. And like that, it's also missing the bayonet. Actually, I do have this Model 1916 bayonet. It fits on like so. The only problem is that it's loose. The muzzle ring is too big for the barrel. So what are the solutions here? Well, most obvious would be to buy a cleaning rod and the correct bayonet. The problem is that a replacement cleaning rod is impossible to find. It's shared with the Belgian 89/16 carbine, but most of both types of rifles found here in the States are missing their cleaning rods, and no one makes a reproduction. So that's what I'll be doing in this video. Luckily, another YouTuber who has one sent me the dimensions. I'll start here, then circle back to the bayonet. Here are the two parts of the cleaning rod. The rod itself is a bit undersized at 3/16 of an inch. The dimensions I had listed the diameter at 0.202. However, using an off-the-shelf piece of stock is much easier than trying to turn down a long, thin rod to the correct diameter. Plus, the thinner rod allows a bit more flex when fixing it to the rifle, since it needs to be bent for the head to clear the retainer. That's also why I made it out of two pieces. I'll use thread locker to hold the head in place. I'll grip the rod with pliers on the part that will be hidden inside of the stock. That's also why I chose to polish only the last 3 inches or so. Then I'll tighten the head. Here you can see what I meant earlier, with the thinner rod being easier to flex in order to fit the head under the front sight retainer. Even this is fairly stiff, but this is all that's holding the cleaning rod in place. The actual rods have their far end threaded like most Mauser cleaning rods, but on this rifle they don't serve any purpose, so I left them off. And there seems to be some variation in the length of the slot. I cut this fairly short. Some that I see are quite a bit longer. But that's the cleaning rod complete. Now to tackle the bayonet. Like I said, this is a Model 1916. When the Belgians replaced their rifles with the new Model 1935 and updated their older rifles to this 89/36 pattern, they did something interesting with their older pattern bayonets. The Model 1916/35 bayonet had a thin steel bushing pressed into the muzzle ring in order to make it fit onto these newer rifles. That's what I'll do with this bayonet. The bushing was fairly easy to press into the bayonet's muzzle ring, which is good because that makes this reversible. If I ever find an actual Model 1916/35 bayonet, or a Model 1935 which was purpose-built with a smaller muzzle ring, I can always press out this bushing in order for this to again fit onto an 89 long rifle or an 89/16 carbine. Now to attach this bayonet to the rifle. And it fits on perfectly. I made the inside of the muzzle ring a few thousandths oversized so that it's a slip fit onto the barrel. The bushing, being left in the white, is still visible. It's a reminder of what this bayonet started off as. Instead, the larger distraction is just how dirty the bayonet's grips are. I'll clean them up before calling this project complete. There's not a drastic change in appearance, but the grips do look less dirty than before. That's the front end of my Belgian Model 1889/36 complete. To me, rifles with missing cleaning rods look bare, at least those that are meant to have them. And as the saying goes, every rifle needs a bayonet. Thanks for watching.